Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for my tardiness. The SDLC prerequisite meeting lasted just a little bit longer than I expected, but we had good results. So that's going to be a good thing. Jesse, do you know about the SDLC workshop?
I just joined. Yeah, I
Oh,
already registered.
you already registered. I was so excited. So is
Yeah.
is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. going to be okay for you?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I will
Okay.
make it.
Okay. Well, it's a really, really good event. We did it
Yeah,
last year
it's
and we
I don't
we
have chance. Yeah, it's right, very interesting.
yeah, yeah, good. Hi, Katya. Bob is joining us. This is
Hello.
awesome. Let me get the things up here. Katya, do you know about the SDLC workshop?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will wait just a second while I log in here and then I'll tell everybody
Yeah.
about it. I see Lincoln. How are you, sir?
Hello, Thea. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah.
We
Uh,
missed you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been MIA. July has been an extremely busy month. So beginning of our fiscal year, first time conducting fiscal year end close with the implementation of Workday. And then not only that, I'm getting my third child into college
Oh
this
my
fall.
goodness.
So all the provisioning work and then everything that comes along with that. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Provisioning. Were you in the military?
Yes, I was.
Yes, you were. I'm like, people don't use provisioning like that unless they've been in the military. Cool.
Or IT
See?
maybe, right? Provisioning
Well, yes,
systems.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But not for college kids. If
Right,
it was
right.
provisioning for software, that'd be different.
Exactly.
See here I am doing stakeholder analysis.
SDLC
Like,
stuff. There you go.
well,
I
okay,
was,
so I want to tell y'all about the software development lifecycle workshop. This is something that you might be interested in, and it may be more than you can handle right now, but I don't want you to miss out just because I didn't tell you. The Software Development Lifecycle Workshop, SDLC, is something we did last year, and we're doing it again this year, and we think we're doing it better this year. Last year we did it for across 11 weeks, 1 hour at a time, and people were like, that's not enough time for me to work with my team. We give you real problem, and you work with your team in one of the roles that's going to be in the team, product owner, project manager, business analyst, QA, UI, UX, or developer, and you're going to create real software, which is very cool. And then we take all the things that you created, and let me get to this. And then we put it, put you and your stuff on the website with your problem statement and your Kanban. This is a screenshot of their Kanban. And this is the deliverables by those roles. And then we get down here to the bottom. Here's the support ticket system that they created, and it's real.
at
Let's see,
the,
content user.
were you
Yes.
meaning to share your screen? Because you're not sharing right now.
Dude, I am being so brilliant and I didn't even do it right. Let me share. I'm scrolling through this and y'all are just being polite. Okay, so going back up to the top. Let's pick a different one. So this is the team three. These people are literally from all over the world. Some of them didn't know anything about software development whenever they started. Some of them learned development. This guy learned development because of the software project. So the problem statement and then deliverables that each of them actually did. So you can always go to a potential employer and saying, this was a project I was on. Here's examples of my work. I love this one. By all of the roles. And then here is wireframes by the UI UX. And then here is a video of the project actually working, tools and technologies used by the developer. And I think I thought that they had this live. And some of them we actually have a frame that the software is running in and you can use it. And then at the bottom, the impact from the team. What they said was the impact for them. So that we're planning on doing the same thing this year. Let me show you the schedule real quick. Which browser do I want to show you from? Schedule, last page. The schedule, we had our first meeting tonight. Watching the recordings is quite acceptable. And then the next meeting is in 2 weeks. Again, watching the recording is acceptable, but we do want you to watch it. And then this is going to be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, about every other week. Right here is a 3-week split instead of a 2-week split. And that's so that development can have more time to get everything done. And then our last meeting, these are all 3-hour meetings. Our last meeting is our final demo. So you do it just like you would do for an executive, except you also show your deliverables, and everybody in the team takes turns. Not everybody, every role in the team takes turns presenting your deliverables. And then the developer shows what you ended up with, and we give out the awards. We have 10 one-year memberships to the IIBA to give out to participants, and all mentors that are consistent and participate and contribute also get 1-year IIBA memberships. So if you know anybody who wants to do this, or if you want to do it yourself, you can go to tampabayiba.org. Let's see, go to the main page as a mentor and scroll all the way down to the bottom. And here is the mentor's application. It's not really an application. It's just the way we can get the thing that says, I agree to let you use my name and image on the website, all that stuff, and gather your bio. And if you want to do it as a participant, you go here to events, chapter events, and you register right here. It costs $15 to do it. So I feel like it's worth a whole lot more than that. One thing you might want to see is this. I'm going to get there, I promise. This. We believe this is what we're going to have accessible for our participants. Right now, we're still working with Microsoft to confirm, but if you haven't played with Balsamic or Draw.io or something like that, it's kind of nice to be able to say, I now have experience with this. We are looking for developers, UI, UX, and QA people to be participants and mentors. We don't have enough of those. The rest of those positions we cover pretty well. So if you know anybody who's interested in that, if you have an experienced developer who's interested in participating on a team, we will give him mentor credit and pay for his IIBA membership. Okay? All right. Let's get to what we came here for. I think I already had it up, didn't I? There it is. Okay, guys, remind me, are we doing test simulation where you figure out the answer yourself? Or are we doing techniques? We're doing techniques, right?
No,
Last
doing all chapters without technique.
All the chapters without techniques. Okay. In that case, I want to do it. Are we doing it with the answers at the end of each question?
I think it's of each question and then answer.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it this way then.
Yep.
For those of you who are interested in getting this, it's about $1 a day for 90 days if you want to do it that way. And one of the benefits of doing this is you get some different questions than you get in these. Most of the questions are different. You also get the very long questions, the situations that have like 5 questions for each. I'm going to stop and say welcome to everybody. I see Candace is here. Haven't seen you in a bit, lady. I'm glad to see you here. And Lincoln has come back, and my faithful favorites, Katya and Jesse and Jennifer. Thank you so much. Let's get started. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Requirements that don't meet quality standards have likely been evaluated in which task? So they don't meet quality standards. Which task is it we determine if they meet quality standards or not? Is that validate requirements, verify and validate requirements, value requirements, or verify requirements? Let's eliminate one.
Verify
eliminate
and
the B.
validate. We can eliminate B and A
Okay.
and C.
And what's the right answer?
D,
Mhm.
How do you know it's D?
because quality, it's a verify. We need to verify the quality of the requirement.
You verify quality, and the Y in both of them is what most students look at. Is it that Y? That Y. So we know it's the same one. And you are correct. Next question. Jamie is working on a mobile banking initiative to allow customers to perform all deposits and withdrawal functions using a mobile phone. He is familiarizing himself with the organization's structure in order to better understand the current state environment. Here's a key. What will reviewing the organization's structure tell him? It will reflect a formal relationship between people working in the enterprise. It will tell him how many audiences he has to consider when scheduling requirements workshops. It will give him insight into the capabilities of the organization. It will help him calculate the number of communication channels in the organization as input into his communication strategy. Which one can we eliminate?
B,
And which one do you think is the best answer?
A.
capabilities.
A.
Isn't it capabilities?
Yeah, I think it's organization
It's
structure.
A. It's organization, yeah.
Okay.
So whenever he says he's looking at the organization structure, that's
Mhm.
the org chart, and it only shows the formal relationships. It doesn't show any other kind of relationships. Next, why is he reviewing the organization structure so important to the change initiative? The reporting structure may aid or limit potential change so that political impacts of transitioning to a future state are thoroughly understood, so that stakeholders aren't overlooked in the elicitation process. It will assist the business analyst in recommendation of a sponsor for the change initiative. What can we eliminate?
D,
And what is the best answer?
A.
I've got one vote for B.
Yeah, B sounds good, but
A seems like more
I
yeah,
I think
reporting structure may add or limit a
yeah.
potential change. Sounds like A. A.
I
Okay.
was thinking C just for the from the simplicity perspective of he's still getting acclimated, right, with the environment and trying to identify roles, actors, and players. So that's why I think C might be the proper
I was thinking C
answer.
as well.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay.
I
So,
think say
so those of you who are thinking C, are you thinking from your logic and experience? Or are you thinking from the BABOK? Those of you who are thinking A, are you thinking logic and experience or the BABOK?
BABOK, because all chart is reporting structure, right? So
Let's check A. We'll come back.
A.
So the correct
Yeah.
answer is A. Let's see what C says. At this point, Jamie is seeking to understand current state. He's not planning elicitation activities yet.
Exactly.
So in real world, we probably would be doing those things at the same time. But the BABOK says that the org chart may the benefit of studying the org chart may aid or limit potential change. Preeti, a business analyst, has been working on a project to develop a footbridge across a major avenue in one of the busiest roadway junctions in Sydney, Australia. Preeti is in the initial stages of the project and is planning how to collect requirements from identified stakeholders. Kelly, the project manager, is checking in with Preeti to see if is everything on track or is she facing any challenges or roadblocks. At this stage of the project, how can Kelly best help Preeti move forward in her work? So, what task is Preeti in?
That she's at the beginning and how to collect requirements from identified stakeholders, isn't it?
BAPM, Business Analyst Planning Monitoring. And then she's planning for how to collect. It's a BA
Yeah.
approach.
BA approach. And so, what is the project manager's role in the BA approach? It's going to be the answer to this question. Because, roles have
Okay.
specific responsibilities depending on the task. The project manager should allocate funds needed to conduct the business analysis activities properly. Guys, is that something they should be doing this once the business analyst is already on the project?
Yeah.
I mean, that should have come before the business analyst got on the project, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The project manager should ensure that appropriate stakeholders and other physical resources are available for the elicitation session. The project manager should identify the risks involved in the requirements elicitation activity and create a mitigation and contingency plan. The project manager should work with sponsor to determine if all relevant stakeholders have been identified before elicitation begins. Let's eliminate some.
I think the
We can
A,
eliminate.
C and A can
Okay.
be eliminated.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
C as
C can
well.
be,
Yeah.
Do you say B?
I know C can eliminate.
C can be eliminated. Yeah.
Okay. How about D?
I think it cannot be, for me, I wouldn't say B. I would say because to identify the stakeholders, the project should ensure or physical resources. Physical resources is not part of the project manager, isn't
But
it?
But
I feel
project
B.
manager does have that direct relationship with the sponsor. Um,
Okay,
I
Jesse's
wanted to
voting
say
for
B is
B.
my first choice,
Okay, let's test B. And B is correct. The project manager's job in this task is to ensure the appropriate people and resources are available to conduct the elicitation.
Hey, can we check D, please?
Go ahead.
Can we check D? Yeah.
D, it says this is partially correct. Stakeholder identification is a continuous activity throughout the project. So even with the help of the sponsor, the PM cannot ensure that all relevant stakeholders are identified before the requirement elicitation activity starts. But the BABOK says that this is the project manager's job. That's why it's the one that I go to. Okay, number 5. ROI takes into consideration the cost of investment and the forecasted benefits of the change. So ROI, can you tell me what ROI stands for?
return on investment.
Return on investment. Cameron is meeting with stakeholders to understand what the training costs will be for the recommended solution. What is Cameron trying to understand? The total cost of ownership for the solution, timeline for getting end users up to speed with how to use the solution, the ratio of cost to benefits, or value realization. Can we eliminate one?
B.
Right? They're working on money, not time.
Yep.
So what is the best answer?
The total cost of ownership for the solutions. A. Apple.
Tell me why you like that answer, Jesse.
Why? Because it's talk about cost, right? So I will choose between A and C, but A seems like more coverage. It's a talk about training costs, it's talk about the solutions benefit. It's it's overall. So
You're
I
right.
feel like it's A. Yeah.
You're right. Total cost of ownership includes the cost of using and supporting the solution throughout its life cycle. So training, maintenance, all that stuff is going to be part of the cost of ownership, total cost of ownership. Questions? All right. Where does strategy analysis fall on the value spectrum? Value spectrum is a very specific phrase in the BABOK. You got to understand what that means. Strategy analysis focuses on potential value, designing that value, and delivering actualized value. Strategy analysis focuses on potential value, defining that value, and delivering actualized value. Strategy analysis focuses on defining value for the organization. Strategy analysis focuses on potential value. What can we eliminate?
I think we can eliminate C because it's not for only focusing on defining value.
Okay. And what do
You
we
have
feel
the
like is the best answer?
potential. It's between A and B and delivering.
So this one says it's designing the value, and this says it's defining the value.
I would say defining the value, not designing the value.
Okay, I've got one vote for B.
I agree.
All
Why
right.
can't
Wow.
potential value? Yeah.
Strategy analysis comes before requirements analysis and design definition, and strategy analysis focuses on potential value on the value spectrum. The value spectrum is a diagram, and I can't tell you what page it's on, but I think it's in chapter 6, and it has the chapter headings for 6, 7, and 8. And it shows you 6, 7, and 8 with a line with arrows going both directions. If you can find that and memorize it, it will keep you straight with value spectrum. Okay, next question. Mary is preparing to allocate requirements to a solution components and releases to best achieve the objectives and maximize value. So first of all, what task is it that Mary does that? When do you allocate solution components or requirements to solution components and to the releases?
RLCM, requirement life cycle management.
Requirement lifecycle management.
Management,
And
yeah.
which task?
Which task is define design options.
Okay.
Is it?
So in defined design options, should Mary ensure her requirements are verified and tested? Ensure her requirements are designed and approved by the implementation SMEs? Ensure her requirements are validated and prioritized? Ensure her requirements are verified and traced? I think if it is defined design options, what are the
must be
inputs into defined design options is going to answer this question.
Approved requirements and the design.
Okay, so that one is going to be
B,
which one?
boy, I think.
B?
Boy, B, yeah.
Okay. We got one vote
How
for
about
B.
how about others?
It's okay. I would rather you get it wrong right here, right now, than when you're sitting there in front of the test. Let's check B.
Oh,
The correct answer is ensure her requirements are validated and prioritized. So the reason this is the right answer is you want to be sure that requirements are validated. These are the requirements we want to do. And then prioritized will help you define, is it going to go into the first component or is it the later component? If, high priority comes now, right? And then, the things that have to go with that high priority requirement, they all come in this bundle. And then a later bundle is lesser priority requirements. Does that make
okay,
sense?
makes sense. Yeah, makes
You
sense.
know, it's like if I'm making ice cream, one of my first priorities is I got to gather all my ingredients and be sure I have all my equipment. That has to go in the first thing. Then I can actually put things together and the ice and the salts and everything and make the ice cream. And then I'm going to have to go find a spoon because I got to test it. I mean, that comes after.
Okay.
Okay, Harold has documented how many factors. I'm sorry, I'm starting over. Harold has documented how factors external to the solution are restricting value utilization. What task is he performing? So we have solution, so we know we're in chapter 8, and
Yeah.
factors external to the solution restricting value realization. There's a
Yeah,
problem.
it's enterprise limitations, external,
Yeah.
access.
Very good. How did you know that, Jesse?
Yeah, because for me, I have a exam cues is as enterprise is refers to external, solution is refers to internal. That's why this is get me to the key.
Absolutely true. If it's outside of the solution itself, it's enterprise. If it's
Yeah.
internal to the solution, it's internal. It's a solution problem.
Yeah.
A project team is piloting a new set of processes before full deployment. Barry is a BA who is evaluating the solution in terms of delivered value. He finds that stakeholders aren't engaging in the new processes and have instead reverted to the old way of doing things. What should Barry recommend? There's not enough information provided for a specific recommendation. Conduct more training as stakeholders probably don't understand the new processes. Conduct coaching and mentoring as a way to focus stakeholders on the new processes. Create incentives so that stakeholders are more motivated to leave old ways behind. Let's go through these one at a time. Let's start with this one. Is this really what the question's asking? Or is this a solution we're coming up with?
What should Barry recommend? They already implement, but the process they are still using the old way.
So is this the solution we should use? Or
No.
is this just one
No.
of possible solutions? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to eliminate that one. How about this one? Is this what the Babok says we should do?
No.
Okay, we're going to eliminate that one. How about this one?
Yes.
Why do you like this one?
Because it has training.
Because it has training. Okay, I've got one vote for B. Anybody else?
MSS training. Explore more capability or what?
Again.
But the first one. What?
Unfortunately, we haven't done a root cause analysis of what the problem is, so we don't know that this is the solution. There's
So
not enough
B, C, D should
information
be.
to know if this specific recommendation would increase solution value.
That's a trick question.
We have to do a root cause analysis to be sure we're solving the right problem. This doesn't say we know what the problem is. It says that they're not engaging. We don't know why.
So always do root cause analysis before recommending. This is the
Be sure you're solving the right problem.
okay.
And I want to dive a little deeper into that. Whenever you have a problem, very often a business will come to you and they say, we need you to build a database. We need you to, start a new group. We need you to, they come to you with a solution. It's your job as a business analyst to say, what problem are you trying to solve? And then be sure that that is not just a symptom of another problem. People aren't using the new solution. We don't know if they even have access to it. We don't know if the system that they're supposed to have access to it is receiving power. We don't know if they received good training. We don't know. So we can't say the thing that we're solving, we know there's a symptom. They're not using it. That's a symptom. But it's a symptom of what? There's a technique called 5 whys, and it doesn't have to be the number 5. It's you say you have a problem and you say, "Oh, tell me more about that. What do you think is causing that? What are the aspects of it?" And then you just keep asking why. Tell me more. Tell me more. Why? What's causing, how often does it happen? You just ask questions and you go deeper into it. And then you can figure out what the true root cause is. And sometimes, unfortunately, there's more than one root cause. It can be, let's say you work in a call center and your call volume is increasing and the time it takes to solve problems is increasing. Well, if you just say the call volume is increasing, there's could be 5 things causing the call volume to increase. So you figure out the thing that's impacting it the most and you try to solve that. And then you figure out the thing that's impacting it second and you try to solve that. It could be several things. It's not just a single root cause. But the BABOK talks a lot about you solve the problem that's causing all the problems, not the symptom of the thing that's causing the problems. Next question. Number 10. Monique is analyzing historical data to identify information relevant to her current project. What type of elicitation is Monique utilizing? She's analyzing historical data. Is this called collaboration? Is a type of elicitation, so it's a category. Collaborative, research, document analysis, or experiments. What is it not?
C, eliminate. That is the technique.
So this is a technique, not a type of elicitation.
Yeah.
What else can we eliminate?
A.
Yeah.
Okay.
A and B. So
She's
left
not
with B.
collaborating with
One.
anybody.
She's not collaborating. Is she doing experiments?
No.
No.
Okay.
Isn't it research? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is research one of the categories? Okay. And you're correct. Research involves systematic discovering and studying information from materials or sources that are not directly known by stakeholders to identify trends or past results. Stakeholders can still participate in this research. Can anybody tell me what one of the drawbacks or weaknesses is of document analysis?
It's outdated, the documents information.
Static.
Yes, very, very often document analysis is giving you outdated information. It can give you hints and clues, but it can't tell you the truth all the time because have you ever seen an org chart that's 100% correct? People change,
Always.
right? I mean, somebody's left, somebody's changed their last name, as soon as it's made, it's outdated, but it's a place to start. Virtual org charts are awesome. I like org charts that are based in teams. That way, if you have a team sign on, you've got the correct information. It's like, this is the way to do it. As a business analyst, you're given the following elicitation information. The database shall support the generation and control of configuration objects, and the objects are themselves groupings of other objects in the database. Why would decomposing the above information be critical to you? First of all, what does decomposition mean?
Break into smaller
Yeah.
components.
Breaking something into smaller units until you can get it understood. It doesn't have to go down to atomic level, just understandable. Information decomposition should be avoided as it takes more time and may lead to project delay. Would prove that the business analyst is well experienced and this would give stakeholders confidence. Does away with all assumptions as it is done on the actual project. Would help identifying anything that must change or not change to meet the business need or any missing components. So from the situation, which of these does not actually apply?
You mean eliminated, right?
Eliminate,
A.
yes.
Yeah. A.
We can eliminate that one.
Uh,
How about B?
that is like
That could be eliminated.
yeah.
Technique.
It might be true, but that is not answering the question. How
Yeah.
about C?
It's not correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about D?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
And you are correct. Information decomposition helps identify anything that must change or not change to meet the business need or any missing components. How many of you have used decomposition?
I've
Yes?
never used it.
Yes. Yep.
No.
You know
Never.
what? I bet you have.
Me?
Is it?
No.
I bet you have. You just didn't know that's what it was called. So let me explain what it is so that you can get the picture. Let's say you have a project that you've got to process.
Yeah.
You got to work on improving a process. So you create a process map and you break the process down into steps. That's
Yeah.
decomposition. You've broken a big thing down into smaller pieces so you can get your head around it.
So I've done that before.
One of my favorite processes to lead people through is let's plan Thanksgiving dinner. And I give parameters, 25 people, it's family group, we're all going to meet at this one place. And then what do we need? And so then they start going, well, we need this category. We need silverware. What silverware do we need? So we break it down into pieces. So then we can say, who's going to bring 25 forks? you know, and you get broken down from this big thing into these little pieces that you can manage. That's decomposition. Some call it a work breakdown structure, WBS. So if you ever see WBS,
Yeah.
it's still a way to talk about decomposition. Tamara works on projects using an adaptive approach and writes user stories to help the delivery team understand the requirements. Recently, she was asked to work on a project using a more predictive approach. A colleague told her that she will no longer be writing user stories since they're not used on a more predictive approach projects. So, first of all, adaptive and predictive mean
Waterfall and agile.
so adaptive is agile and
Yeah.
predictive is waterfall.
Yeah.
Tamara, however, thought the user stories would be helpful with which of the following tasks. So you can use user stories on Waterfall if this serves a purpose for the team.
Mhm.
Analyzing performance measures, specifying model requirements, perform gap analysis, analyze current state. What can we eliminate?
A.
Eliminate the C also.
It's not gap analysis. Yeah.
Jesse, did you
Yeah.
say A, B, and C?
No. I say A and C only. B is
A
the
Yeah,
and
it says
answer.
C.
B.
Okay. So you like B as the answer, Katya?
I think, yeah, user stories is for specified model requirements. It's
Okay.
not, I think,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's test
it's
B.
not analyze current state. Yeah.
User stories provide a brief statement about what people do or need to do when using the solution. So the difference in the definition of user stories and use cases in the BABOK is interesting to me. A brief statement about what people do or need to do when using a solution is user stories. And then for use cases, let me see if I can remember. It's how people interact with the solution, I think is the way they say it. So
Why and how is it, I think.
why and how they interact with the solution. So a use case, for those of you who haven't worked with use cases, a use case is I hit the power button on my computer and then it turns over and says the computer boots up and the computer displays the startup screen. And then I click on the browser icon and the computer displays the browser, so it's I do this and the system does this and I do this and the system does this. And so that's where we get the term happy path. The thing that's done most frequently that doesn't have problems, that's the happy path. And then from that you get your alternative paths. Instead of hitting the browser, I'm going to hit email and it's going to do this other thing. So you do the thing that you do most often because that way you get, your 60% of situations covered. And then you do the 40% of situations afterwards. Okay. Question 2 on the same scenario. Specifically, what would user stories help the team thoroughly define and understand? Would they help with non-functional requirements? prioritized functional requirements, acceptance criteria, or risk assessment? I'll let y'all just tell me the right answer.
Acceptance
Ac-
criteria.
Acceptance.
Acceptance, C.
Acceptance criteria.
You are correct. User stories help to identify specific acceptance criteria to help the team understand what the solution needs to provide in order to deliver value for the stakeholders. You just created a stakeholder solution requirements. Which task did you just finish? Is that specifying model requirements, structured requirements, verify requirements, or prioritize requirements? I'll let you tell me the right answer.
A.
Creating requirements is another way of saying specifying model. Writing, documenting requirements is specifying and modeling. Putting them in a process map is specifying and modeling. Anything we do to document the requirement, doesn't matter what the format is, it's specifying and modeling. How is the solution core concept in the business analysis core concept model applied in the requirements analysis and design definition knowledge area? So in RAD, how is solution applied? The performance of the solution is examined and assessed to see if it's delivering the potential value. The circumstances that influence and provide understanding of the change are considered when determining the solution performance measures. Potential solution options are defined, and the ones that are most likely to address the need and have the most value is recommended. Potential value of the solution options are analyzed and quantified. So remember the purpose of RAD, requirements analysis and design definition, and that will tell you which one solution applies to that purpose. Is there one we can eliminate?
I think the B.
C we can eliminate.
Okay.
1 second. The performance is examined at us. I think we can
Solutions.
eliminate A, isn't? I think we can eliminate also A. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the best answer?
C, right?
Yeah. This year.
C. Cat.
Yeah.
C?
Because it's not with the value are analyzed and quantified. Potential.
Okay. Let's test C. And you're correct. This answer represents the solution core concept for RAD. Good job. Gil has been identified as a key stakeholder in a project. His absence when determining the appropriate method to conduct business analysis activities could be considered a source of risk. The approach taken may also depend upon his availability. So if his absence is a source of risk and the approach may also depend upon his availability, what type of stakeholder is Gil? Is he a sponsor, domain SME, implementation SME, or tester?
Wow.
Let's go back to this. Determining the appropriate method to conduct business analysis activities, what task is that?
This one is in the BAPM, and then is governance. No, is it governance? Or yeah, governance approach.
Okay. And so in governance approach, whose role is it that if they aren't there, it can be considered a source of risk, and the approach itself depends on their availability? Is that the sponsor, domain SME, implementation SME, or tester?
Hona, it's depending the method to conduct BA activity. Sorry, I think it's the BA approach that which to be choose.
The
I
BA
would,
approach. Okay.
yeah, because it's what method to conduct the BA activity. So I would think it will be
B.
the sponsor.
Is it sponsor?
Yeah, is it? Or
I've
I
got
will
one vote for
eliminate
A.
tester.
Eliminate tester. Okay. I have one vote for A. Who else wants to vote? We're gonna go with A.
Oh, I think it's B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is
So
not A?
please understand why domain SME is the correct answer on this. So we're trying to determine the appropriate method to conduct business analysis activities. The domain SME is the one who can say the people you want to interview are all over the world, or they're right here in my department. They're the ones who can say, we have these timelines that you need to be aware of. Or when I was working at the nuclear power plant, the domain SME is the one who said, your stakeholders will not be available during all of the refueling time. So you can't access them then. So I had to figure out my method and which approach we're going to use. Does that make sense? No?
Mm.
Talk to me, Jesse.
Talk to you. Okay, because what I think is sponsor because I thought is he should the right person that confirm the BA works, and domain SME is more on suggesting, but according the Babok, it seems like SME is the one that more expert, so it should be the person is instead of sponsor. Absent of sponsor doesn't impact any risk, but domain SME is
Yes, yes. So the
mm,
sponsor has opinions on this, but the SME knows. I mean, they
better.
have deep knowledge on this. The sponsor, if the sponsor isn't there, it's like, you know what? They have suggestions. But if the domain SME isn't there, it's a source of risk because potentially we're missing critical pieces of information for our planning. We need their information before we can move forward.
Okay, so in this task, I think the domain SME is most important that we'll need them to involve for the
Yes. Yes. And
okay.
that's why their absence could be considered a source of risk. The Babok says that line.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Jesse, are you sure you don't want us to take the CBAP instead of the CCBA?
Why?
I
Oh,
think I think you could pass the CBAP. Okay. Giorgio wants to interact with the groups of stakeholders to gain more information about them. What would you advise him to do? He wants to interact with the stakeholders. Organize lunch and learn meetings. Develop a survey questionnaire with open-ended questions. Hold workshops. Develop a survey or questionnaire with closed-ended questions. What can we eliminate?
D. Yeah, I would
Why do
eliminate
you want to eliminate D?
close-ended. You will not get, you cannot interact, first of all, with the close-ended.
Okay.
That's first, because you,
Okay.
like, he needs to interact with the stakeholders. So I would say, like, hold workshops with a group of stakeholders. You hold workshops.
Okay. I need a second
Uh,
vote.
I thought a group of stakeholder because it's not a focus, right? Workshop.
Or sorry, it's B. I changed my mind. It's B.
Okay.
Because
Let's test
to
B.
gain.
Yeah.
But you were right.
It is all okay. Just
So
because
here's
okay,
the
to tell
thing.
you why I changed my mind is
Okay.
like
Why?
because workshop it was the best thing, but then I said like if you want to get to know more information about them, so open-ended, you get to know like
More specific.
information about each one with the specific questions answered, like workshop is to get more ideas, collaborative. So that's why I changed my mind about it. But okay,
Okay.
it's good
So
to know.
workshops are, according to the Babok, interactive and would allow Greg to gain more information about stakeholder groups. There's no interaction in a
Surveys are
survey.
not interactive, even if they're open-ended.
Okay, so it is all workshops. Okay.
We're learning. Look at us. Which subsets of stakeholders are likely to participate in the defined design options task? So You need to know which stakeholders are involved in the defined design options task. First of all, the purpose of defined design options is to identify which solutions you potentially could use to achieve the future state that you desire from your current state. So the stakeholders that would be involved, let's see who we have here. Is operational support one of the stakeholders we need? We've got it in 3 different questions and 3 different answers. For test taking strategy, typically if it's in 3, it's probably one of the ones that we would use,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
we're going to eliminate this one. And let's see,
Definitely.
project manager is in 1. Is project manager somebody we need in the defined design options?
No.
Okay,
No.
so we can eliminate that one. Let's see. This one
Suppliers
has
and
supplier.
sponsor.
Would supplier be somebody we would use? Would they be sitting at the table to say, the product that I want you to buy from me?
No, it's D.
But B,
It-
then which
I
one?
would say D is in Delta. It's the answer.
Be like D is in Delta. Operational support, domain SME, and sponsor. Okay.
Why?
Because even the
Why?
sponsor has to have an input on the design, right? They are
But
ultimately accountable.
I think it's C
Tell me
can't
why
be.
you like C better, Katya.
because you need the supplier to know what you have, like vendor in the market for defined design, like to see if it's available, what's like. I don't think in the defined design option at that point you need sponsor.
Okay,
That's-
so this is
I-
implementation SME, operational support, and supplier.
I
This is
think so.
One
operational
question.
support, domain SME, and sponsor.
Can it be B, boy? Because I thought domain SME is the most heavily happen to all the tasks.
But you have regulator.
Oh
This is
yeah.
where I feel it's
Like
regulator. It's more, I don't know.
Lincoln, what
we
is
also,
your idea?
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't select B is the regulator aspect. I mean,
compliance.
yeah, compliance is part of it. Um,
Whether this compliance or what? No, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the piece that threw me off is whether or not regulators should be included in this
I'm
state.
Yeah.
gonna test C and we're gonna see what the correct answer is.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, it's not.
This is a subset of the stakeholder list for defined design options tasks. Let's see what B says. Regulator is not one of the stakeholders for this task.
Mhm.
And D, sponsor is not one of the stakeholders for this task.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe.
so the domain SME is, but because regulator is not, that's why it's not the answer. Okay.
So whenever you're in your defined design options task, the sponsor doesn't need to be there, because what you do is you say, we're going to come up with 5 different ideas and we're going to talk through them. And then whenever we come up with the one we think is the best, you're going to then take that one to the sponsor with your business case of all, your evaluation of all 5. And you say, this is the one we recommend and why. And here's the others to show that we did our due diligence to be sure that they weren't as good because of. Make sense?
Yeah, thanks for refreshing my memory. I'm out of practice, but yeah, that's
Well, you've been gone a little while.
We are
You're
all
allowed to be
taken out
rusty.
of practice. We are all.
You're going to be rusty until you're not. That's just the way it is. Terry is documenting requirements for her current project, a new order entry system. She knows that future projects will benefit if her requirements are made reusable, but it will take extra time that her boss feels she doesn't have. What would you advise Terry to use as her best justification for taking the time to make her requirements reusable? So the question really is how do you explain the value of making your requirements reusable? They can be reused in the future for the current or similar initiatives. They will make the resulting software department more cost effective. It will be easy to enter and access the requirements in the new repository tool if the organization has installed. It will provide the basis for future enhancements. Let's eliminate one.
C, TET.
Yeah.
This is talk about the
And
tools.
we can remove B.
Cost.
I'll go this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the best answer?
Apple.
I've got 1 vote for A, 2 votes for A. And you're correct.
Yeah.
Requirements can be reused with the current initiative, with similar initiatives, with similar departments, or throughout the organization. Can somebody tell me how to make a requirement reusable?
Not to link it to a specific software. Like not to be
Be sure that
Be
specific to
standalone.
association.
it's
General.
specific enough to be usable, but generic enough where it's not specific to only one
Yeah.
project. My favorite example of this is the menus on websites. You know, a website, it's going to have a menu on every page, but the menu is going to change depending on the page. So the basic structure of the menu is there. That part is reusable. What's specific to every page, it would be specific to that page. Yes, Bob.
Colors, logos, look and feel, company kind of design cues and security things are great examples of reusable requirements.
That's true. Just think about enter your name, first name, last name. You can use that in every single thing you do from now on once you get it written. But you've got to it has to be accessible to you, right? We know you got 32 characters in that, and it's got letters and numbers and special characters. That's all reusable. Sean and BA is working with business owners to clarify the organization's business objectives. The business owner keeps talking about the current situation and a new project to automate the cumbersome business process. Sean tries to bring her back to the business objective. Finally, the business owner says she really has 3 business objectives: increase employee satisfaction, increase revenues by increasing sales, and comply with new regulations. Sean is not comfortable with these business objectives. Why? Remember the definition of business objective
Smart.
according to Babok.
Yeah.
They
Smart.
are not measurable. They do not state the business problem or opportunity. They are stated but not confirmed. They do not they do not state the business benefit. Which one can we eliminate?
E and D. C and D, not B. Yeah.
Okay, and what is the best answer?
A, apple.
Yeah.
Objectives need to be smart. We have smart objectives in the Babok. This is extremely opposite to most companies. They don't call it that. They call it goals instead of objectives, but that's okay. The Babok says they're objectives. We're going to go with it. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bounded. Also, the stated objectives are lacking the specific and time-bounded aspects. Does it say will increase employee satisfaction by 15% by the end of this year? That would be perfect, but that's not what it says.
Things are measurable though, so I think that question is poorly formed.
Yeah.
You're the business analyst on an initiative. Which of the following would you consider when determining the optimal approach for conducting business analysis activities? Number of business areas affected, geographic and cultural considerations, complexity and risk, size of the change. Can we eliminate one?
A.
Yes.
Okay. What is the best answer?
Complexity and risk.
Is that what you chose, Jesse?
Yeah, correct.
Right.
Complexity and risk. Okay. Katia?
Isn't it? I thought it's B.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm thinking B too.
So
Why?
you're going to be considering the optimal approach for conducting your work. So which one of these is going to have more impact? Geographic and cultural
Okay.
considerations. Are your stakeholders there in the same building or halfway across the world? Is that going to determine which techniques you use to speak to them?
Yeah.
Complexity and risk. This is going to be high risk and high complexity. Is that going to tell you which techniques you're going to use? And if you're going to do agile or waterfall?
Yeah,
What do you think,
I
Jesse?
changed. Yeah, I changed my mind because the geography and culture will most impact my BA activity.
Yes, ma'am. Oh
Huh?
no, that's not right. I was incorrect.
Okay, can we read?
This is a false
What?
positive. Like,
Let's
what's
read.
going on?
Oh, it's partially true. So it's not. It's
It is
why they ask
partially
those
true.
questions. So it's
They're
true, but
I
just
got
all
it's
the
like
true part of it,
partially true. It's
but here it
What?
is. It's not a stated element in that task, which is what we should have been going for. Jesse, are you sure you don't want to take the CBAP, darling?
Why we are taking it as an element?
It is one of the elements. Complexity and risk is one of the elements in this task. This is not one of the elements. And it said, what are you going to be considering? Of course, you're going to be considering your elements.
Okay.
Well, I guess I just found out who's paying attention. That wasn't me.
Good job, Jesse.
Jesse did it. Katie is a BA working in a manufacturing company. The COO believes the current downtime of manufacturing lines is excessive. He's done the math, and if downtime can be decreased by 50% a year, the organization could produce $7 million more in product annually. He has asked Kate to assess the current process related to downtime. Assess the current process related to downtime. 3 questions on this. Kate, what should Kate first focus her first efforts? Kate should first determine what existing performance measures exist and if they're accurate, because that's what he's looking at. Kate should first identify the appropriate stakeholders and plan elicitation activities to brainstorm improvement ideas. Kate should complete benchmarking to ensure COO's objectives are achievable. Kate should begin observing downtime-related activities in order to identify areas of improvement and build rapport with production personnel. What can we eliminate? What should she not do first?
B.
I agree with you.
Yeah, because doesn't help.
That's not what she should do first.
Yeah, correct.
So what should she do first, Jesse and Jennifer
She
and Lincoln?
they should identify the root cause actually. So I feel like D is more appropriate because he need to observe to identify area for improvements.
Is that how to? Okay.
Yeah, she has to assess the current processes, so she can't do that unless she knows what they are.
Yeah, she
Okay.
have to know why,
Yeah, it is D.
what happening, what's the problem. Yeah.
Okay, let's test D.
Is it correct? No? Is
No,
it?
It's
Why is
not the first thing she should do. The first thing she needs to
another
do
word?
is be sure, look at what the boss is looking at. Are the numbers he's looking at even accurate?
Okay.
So see, he's done the math on the numbers he's getting. Let's check to see if the existing performance measures are measuring the right thing and if they're accurate. Wouldn't it be horrible if something was counting and it wasn't counting properly? It was like skipping every third one, so it was giving a lower number than it was really happening. So this is root cause analysis.
Okay. The D is observation. It's
So
different.
so she needs to be sure that what he's evaluating off of is reality before you do anything else.
root cause analysis is definitely a key concept there.
Absolutely. What else can you think of that Katie might want to do as one of her first steps? So she's going to check the numbers to be sure they're accurate. It would be a great idea for Katie to get on the governance team's agenda for status updates of the initiative. Katie might want to begin to assess how stakeholders feel about the existing solution in terms of ease of use. Katie should begin observing downtime-related activities in order to identify areas of improvement and build rapport with production personnel. Katie might want to elicit additional ideas for performance measures from stakeholders. Which one of these should we eliminate?
D. Donkey. Yeah.
Oh, D as in donkey. Thank you.
Yep.
And what is the best answer?
C.
C is right in this case.
Yeah, C is right in this case. Not the first.
You like C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And here we go.
Wrong again.
So at this point, the focus is on identifying performance measures and ensuring they're accurate, and that methods for capturing them exist and are in place.
Okay, my chapter 8 is very bad. I have to.
So we're still looking at performance measures.
Yeah.
Remember, that's what the boss was looking at.
That's tricky.
It is tricky. This one was a hard one. The ones on the test are easier. And the last question. What else can, I said next question. Come on. Next question. What type of solution performance measures will Katie focus on primarily? Is it quantitative measures? What is available and accessible? Qualitative measures? Or both qualitative and quantitative measures? What should we eliminate?
B. The
And
easy.
what is the best answer?
I think it would be A.
Because it's a manufacturing
Quantitative.
company.
Quantitative.
Delta. Both.
I think it's A.
A?
Quantitative.
Yeah.
And you're right. The focus has to do with reducing downtime by 50%. So we're working in numbers. The primary focus is measures which are numerical in nature. It's easy to do apples to apples with numbers. When you start getting different qualities, it's harder, much harder. And last question, requirements may be modeled using a variety of formats. Which of the following correctly lists the types of requirements formats? Logical, physical, formal, informal, throwaway, evolutionary, functional, text, matrices, graphical, text, matrices, diagrams. I think one of you knows the right answer already, so I'll let you tell me what that is.
T.
Tell me why you like C, Katya.
No,
Oh,
D.
D is in
D?
Delta.
D, okay.
I think D is it. Requirement formats.
You're correct. It is text, matrices, and diagrams are the types of requirements formats. Let's submit the exam. Okay. Business analysis, planning, and monitoring, we did not do well. Solution evaluation, we did not do well. Everything else, you would have passed on the test.
Okay.
Would y'all like to focus on solution evaluation, the first and last chapters next week?
Yep.
Okay.
And then add on one RADD. Is
Oh,
that okay?
Yes, let's do RAD because
Yeah.
that's chapter 7, right?
Yeah, chapter 7 is a very heavy.
Yeah, 30% is in the BABOK. Jesse, it's not quite the same for the CCBA, but I don't know what it is for the CCBA. The mix of how many questions come from each chapter. But I think if you go to Adaptive US, they have the numbers there.
Okay. But yeah, RADD is the most percentage that I need to
Okay.
put more
Okay.
effort.
So we'll do 1, 7, and 8 next week. Okay?
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
What it seems like the look and feel of the test has changed. I missed a couple weeks. Did something change?
Yes, they created a new UI. It's the same questions. They just created a new face for us.
Oh, okay.
And you're right, it did change. And whenever I first opened it up, it was like, oh no, don't tell me I don't have access because, I don't know, didn't know if they changed the back end or the security but I still had access. So I was relieved.
Okay. Thanks.
Do y'all have any questions about the CBAP, the Tampa Bay IIBA, the SDLC workshop? Anything else I can do for you?
Thank you, Sia.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I really am appreciative that y'all have stuck with this long. It takes a very strong, determined person to stick with it this long. And I realize life gets in the way sometimes, but coming back, that's a whole new strength. So good job. I'll see y'all next week. We have probably, let's check the date.
To the 17th, September 17th.
September 17th. So it's October, September. We have about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So Thea, I do have a question for you on
Yes.
the application.
Yes.
There's 30 hours of, I guess, course classes, which I think this is where the study sessions come in. I haven't looked at the application yet. I just read through all the details, but I think all I need to do is provide your information, and then they will reach out to you, or how does that process work? For
Yes. Providing my information will solve the problem for you. However, your requirements are 35 hours.
35. Oh, that was 30. Okay.
And that can be webinars that you've been involved in, classes you took at work, self-study. There's quite a wide range of it.
Conferences you attended.
Yeah, I definitely have enough hours. I don't know, the breakdown, the way I saw it's, I don't know, maybe I interpreted it incorrectly, but I'll follow up via email and ask the
Okay.
question. Okay.
That works.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. I'll see y'all next week.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.